Hey guys, welcome back. It's Karen. I hope you're doing well. Um, well, the video I was going to make today didn't work out because I never received it yet. So I thought, well, what should I do? And I was thinking about this one, so I think I'll do this one. And this one, well, it was going to be about things that I'm just not enjoying anymore, like certain things I'm just not enjoying anymore. But it kind of led into, as I was thinking this morning, into I'm just going to go into one thing right now that I'm just not enjoying anymore. And the reason for that is because a certain book I'm reading, well, not the reason I'm not enjoying it, but this book is really, really good. And I just thought, well, I don't know if I'm the only one that feels this way, but I might as well just get started. And the one thing that may surprise a lot of you, or maybe you're on my same drift here, but one thing I'm just not enjoying anymore is Instagram. And I remember I started Instagram, gosh, it was years ago. I mean, I'm not going to scroll down through all my photos and find out when was my first photo I put in, but it was over 7 years, I think. And I remember when I started it, oh gosh, I just loved it. It was so fun. I couldn't wait to, get on it every day. And it was just real humble. It was very, and I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but Mark Zuckerberg, I don't know if I pronounced that right, but I think he's the one that started Instagram. And at that time, not on your computer, not on your phone, but on a laptop or on a large computer or an iPad, up above the Instagram was like a collage, a moving collage of your last photos that you had taken. And it was just really, really pretty and fun. And it was just like, it was such a humble Instagram, it was so like, the people would just show maybe an outfit, and there wouldn't be these reels. Seriously, they get me dizzy, and some people put them on such fast motion, it just gets me dizzy. And it's like, I just, not to be rude, but I just have to scroll it up and not look at it because it just irritates me. And then there's like so many commercials that never used to be there. And then there's just people that I don't even know who they are, and they're coming through. And so I seriously just don't enjoy Instagram. I use it for, my LTK, my like it to know it fashion. Once in a while, I may post something if it's a real good deal, nothing expensive. But if I find a real good price on something, I do like to, oh, just 1 minute. So I do use it like for my like it to know it fashion, but very rarely. Usually I just post that into my like it to know it app, and then it transfers over, to like it to know it. But basically, I just use it for that. Maybe put a podcast or a YouTube video that's coming up, but not all the time. And so when I started Instagram, correct me if I'm wrong, but I did not remember all these ladies that were growing their gray out, always posting a picture of their gray every day, or maybe 2 to 3 pictures. And I just don't remember that. But correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't remember that. And I don't remember, I don't know, just all the junk that's in it now. And the only reason that I'm on it is because I have some wonderful friends that I want to stay connected to. But basically, in order for me to lift my phone up and hit that Instagram app. It takes a lot of, just take some deep breaths, Karen. It's going to be okay. You'll get through it. You know, that type of thing. It's nothing I enjoy anymore. It's, and going back to the gray-haired women. Okay. Now, I know you probably think, well, you're growing your gray out. Of course I am. And I'm so, you know, it is one of the best things I've ever done. It seriously is. And I made videos on it, you know, why I had to do this. And it was hard at first, but I get very annoyed with these silver-haired ladies or gray-haired ladies, whatever you want to call them, when they, you know, the minute, like today, I'm not kidding you, I hit Instagram because I film on my phone, okay? And so I just hit Instagram, and then first thing that popped up was this lady that pops up every day with her gray hair, just her face, her gray hair, and nothing against her, but it's like, what I don't like is when they push it on people. They, you know, like, that's, you all have to do that. It's the best thing ever. It's so freeing. It's so blah, blah, blah. It really isn't freeing. And the only reason I went gray or grew my hair out was because I really had to. I had to make a decision to do that or be miserable. And probably if I wouldn't have had such a hard time, I'm not saying for sure, but probably I'd probably still be coloring it, you know. And it does get on people's nerves when they still color their hair and a gray-haired video comes up, or not a video, but a lady saying it's the best thing that's ever happened and you have to do it, it's so freeing, etc., etc. And so that's probably why I'm not very popular with the Silver Sisters, because you know, I don't think that's right to push it on other people. You know, when they want to do it, they'll do it. You know, they don't need you to convince them and show off your gray hair and all that, you know. So, like I said, that's just one of my Instagram pet peeves, and I just don't enjoy it. I mean, some of them women, I mean, they're so obsessed, they'll put at least 3 pictures of themselves a day on, and it's just so annoying. And so that got me to thinking, you know, because I've been reading this book. It is called Stolen Focus, and it's by, well, I don't know how I pronounce it, by Johan Hara. And I picked it up, and it's why you can't pay attention and how to think deeply again. And it starts out that he was at his godson. This was a while back, and his godson was just 9 years old, and he just loved Elvis Presley, his godson, and he was impersonating him, dancing like him to Jailhouse Rock. And this Johan just got so much, you know, he just thought it was the cutest thing ever. And his grandson asked him, you know, like, will you take me to Graceland one day? And Johan said, he said, I will. And, you know, he never thought nothing of it. Well, then when 10 years later, when his grandson, Adam, got older, you know, he went to visit him, and, well, not grandson, godson. He went to visit him, and he said, you know, he just knew he wasn't him anymore. It wasn't the Adam he knew, the happy little kid. He was very, he had all this in front of him, like his iPhone and his Facebook messages, his iPad, etc. And he couldn't get him to even connect with him. And he just, you know, you're devastated, you know. And so he thought, well, I'm going to ask him if he wants to come to Graceland. We'll go to Graceland like I promised. And so he told him, you know, that this is, the only thing is you cannot pick your phone up and look at your phone. You know, you have to have all that social media down. And so it just goes on, you know. They eventually went to Graceland, and it was like a 4,000-mile commute. And they went, and when they got there to look at Elvis's home, it wasn't, you know, how he thought it would be. He thought, you know, like he thought you would have you know, like a guide bringing you through it and showing you the rooms and explaining it. But it wasn't. They hand you an iPad, and you look on that iPad, and I guess you just go through the iPad and do what it wants you to do. And he noticed that the people that were on the tour with him in that home, in Elvis's home, their eyes were just glued on the iPad. They weren't glued on looking at the rooms. And you know, that's what you want to look at. I mean, you know. And it got him more into researching this media and what it's doing to us. And it's just really interesting. And you know, like right here, it says, the truth is that you are living in a system that is pouring acid on your attention every day, and then you are being told to blame yourself and to fiddle with your own habits while the world's attention burns. And it's just all this interrupted focus that we have with media, social media, like Professor Michael Posner at the University of Oregon found that if you are focusing on something and you get interrupted, on average, it will take 23 minutes for you to get back into that same focus that you were working on. And it just, you know, he kept going from professor to scientific people, and it's just amazing what this is doing to us and to our children. And well, on the back here, this one person wrote, read this book to save your mind. It is so true. And he goes into about this one professor or teacher, I can't remember what it was. So that it's a proven study that they did a test on students where they had to read off the computer, and the other group would read from a book. And they found that the ones that read from a book retained more information. And also, the disruption of mind wandering, that is not a disruption. Mind wandering is very, very healthy. It's very good for you. He wrote this in 1950, but in a small town of Aberdeen in Washington State, a high school chemistry teacher named Mr. Smith had a problem with one of his students, a teenage boy named Marcus Richel. Probably butchered that one. He called in the boy's parents and explained sternly that he was doing something bad. Your son has a habit of daydreaming, he said. We all know this is one of the worst things you can do in school. Well, 30 years later, that little boy did a breakthrough. Marcus became a prominent neurosurgeon, and he won the Cavell Prize, a leading honor in the field. And he the PET scan, figuring out, you know, that's what he his research and all his all that daydreaming, that was making his mind work. And it was, you know, and it was like he was one of the first scientists who was able to use this new tool, and when he switched it on with a patient inside, he was able to see into a living human brain in a way almost nobody ever had before. And so it's just really, really good. And you know, he has found that the more you let your mind wander, the better you are at having organized personal goals, being creative, and making patient long-term decisions. You will be able to do these things better if you let your mind drift and slowly, unconsciously make sense of your life. You know, he said, just like when you're out walking, or you know, you're just outside sitting or staring out into the trees or the water, wherever you live. Just let your mind wander. Just take all that social media, them earbuds off. Just let your mind wander. And reading is so good. You know, that people that read, it's good for them. And like I said, I just got to 100 pages, so I didn't read the whole book yet, but it's really good, and I'll link it below. But that just got me to thinking about, you know, how Instagram has changed for me, and how, and it's nothing against, if any of you are watching and you're on Instagram, I don't mean to put you down at all. I really don't. I understand a lot of people are there for maybe a business or something, but it just has really changed since I've been on, and I just, I appreciate you watching, and until next time, have a wonderful day, guys. I love you.